Okay, so the first tool that you obviously are going to need is your curling iron. The first curling iron I am showing you is a 1 3/4 inch curling iron. I use this one all the time. I love it. It is so versatile. The only thing with this one is it is a little bit bigger, so you're not going to want to use this for styles that are more texturized. This is going to be that smoother bouffant, and this is the curling iron I'm using in the tutorial. Now, this curling iron is a 1 inch. This is what I use on my Messy with a Purpose updos. I love, love, love it because it's small enough that I can still get a lot of texture, yet it gives me a lot of volume. If you go too much smaller, you're going to lose that volume, so this is great for that. The other thing you're going to need is a box of the double prong clips. You can get these right at your beauty supply store. I also like a box of the long duckbill clips. Those are great, especially in the crown area where you need to take bigger sections, but the double prong clips aren't long enough, so I really like those for that. The other thing you're going to need is some tail combs. I bring a bunch of these with me. A lot of times I drop one, I'll lose one, or one of my assistants will forget hers. So especially if you have people helping you, make sure you bring extra clips and extra tail combs as well, because those are a very important part of this set. Okay, so the first thing I went ahead and did is took a diagonal section starting in the front bang area, combed it out to make sure there's no knots or tangles, grabbed some hairspray and spray both sides. Make sure to really coat it and use a good working spray for this, something that's flexible yet helps to keep that curl in place. So I then went ahead and combed through it to ensure that the product was evenly distributed. I'm then taking the curling iron and make sure to kind of pull it over. So you're going to over direct that curling iron. I am then feeding the tail of it around the barrel. And again, I'm not starting at the end because that is not going to give us enough volume at the root. We really are focusing on that root area and making sure that that is curled and it is over directed so we get the most amount of volume. And leave that for a couple seconds, and I'm just kind of checking the temperature on that there. Slide it off, and then go ahead and take your double prong clip and clip it in place. So I just wanted to show you what it should look like after you finish that first curl. It is very hollow. You can see the clip through it. It is at a diagonal, and it's also over directed. And if you remember learning, when it is over directed, you are going to get more volume. I cannot stress that enough. So the next section I took was on the opposite side of the part, and again I'm just spraying it, combing through, and then going ahead and over directing it. The next section that you're going to take is the section behind the two curls that you just made. This is going to almost bond that line in the back so you can have that nice smooth bouffant look. Again, I'm over directing. So I'm just going to continue taking sections of hair, over directing them, and curling them, pinning. And I repeat that process all over the head. My biggest tip of advice for setting is to use a brick lay pattern. Not just randomly scattering the curls all over the head, but having some type of purpose to each of the curls. This is really going to ensure a beautiful updo. It's going to make sure that you have volume all over, not in just one section or just on the top of the head. So at the bottom of my sets, I like to curl the hair upside down. So you are curling the hair originally going down and away from the face to give volume. And this is what your finished set should look like. Each of the curls are hollow. They have a nice over-directed volume, and the curls are in a brick lay motion. So they're not one on top of the other, giving all over full volume. So here is the finished updo. that I have created. This updo is very clean, it's simple, it's not too intricate, and the top is very smooth. And again, I just want to say that I did use the 1 3/4 inch curling iron. If I had used the 1 inch curling iron, I could have gotten a lot of texture and volume through that crown area.